Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your guide, really, helping you cut through the noise and get genuinely well-informed. Today, we're taking on something incredibly important, a really critical deep dive into protecting your financial security. We're talking about safeguarding that money you've worked so hard for, especially from these cunning scams that are just, well, everywhere. Think of this as your essential guide to smart spending, vigilant living. Our goal, to empower you, give you confidence, some peace of mind in your financial life. Now, to really bring this home, to show you how serious this is, I want to share a story. It's about Margaret, a wonderful 72-year-old viewer from Kelowna. Margaret, she's sharp, financially savvy, usually very cautious. But one afternoon, the phone rings. The caller says he's from the Canada Revenue Agency. Sounds official, very serious, intimidating even. And he tells her this terrifying story. She owes thousands in back taxes. Thousands. And if she doesn't pay right now, immediately using gift cards, she'll be arrested.
Wow. Just imagine that, the immediate fear.
Exactly, that jolt of panic, the threat of arrest, legal action. It's bewildering. Margaret said her heart was just hammering. She was so convinced, so utterly terrified, she was literally about to walk out the door to buy those gift cards, moments away from losing a huge chunk of her retirement savings.
Oh, it's chilling.
It really is. It was pure chance her neighbor was visiting, overheard the call getting more frantic. The neighbor knew something was wrong, stepped in, grabbed the phone, hung up. Margaret was safe financially. But the emotional toll, the distress, feeling so vulnerable, realizing how incredibly close she came, that stays with you. And listening to Margaret's story, I wonder, does it sound familiar? Maybe you've gotten a call like that, or an email that just felt off, maybe even a knock on the door that didn't sit right. Or perhaps you've heard stories, from friends, neighbors who almost fell for it. Or maybe, sadly, they did. It's easy to think, oh, that won't happen to me, I'm too smart. But honestly, that might be one of the most dangerous assumptions we can make.
And that's precisely why these stories, like Margaret's, hit so hard. It resonates because scammers are incredibly skilled at preying on basic human instincts, our trust, our desire to comply with authority, and crucially, those moments when we feel vulnerable. They aren't just petty thieves, they are frankly experts in manipulating emotions.
Right.
Like we just heard, that single moment of intense fear, that split-second panic, it can disarm anyone, even the most cautious person. It puts a lifetime of savings at risk. And the aftermath. It's not just the money lost, it's the emotional weight, feeling helpless, violated, even ashamed or foolish. But let's be absolutely clear, it is never the victim's fault. These are professionals using sophisticated tactics designed to deceive. Ignoring that vulnerability, thinking it won't happen to me, just makes us more susceptible.
Exactly. And that really sets up our mission for this deep dive. We want to help you build a really robust shield against these kinds of threats. We're going to meticulously unpack the most common scams, especially those targeting folks who've built up savings over time. We'll lay out their tactics, but we're not stopping there. We'll give you clear, actionable, defensive strategies, practical things you can do every day to safeguard your finances.
It's not just information, is it? It's about empowerment.
Precisely. It's about giving you the knowledge, the confidence, the tools you need. Protect your security, find more peace of mind, make sure those savings are truly secure so you can really enjoy, that lively later life we all hope for. Let's dive in and build that shield. Okay, so let's unpack the enemy's playbook. How do we start defending ourselves? Well, the first step is understanding who we're dealing with and how they operate. Now, scammer tactics, they change all the time. They're like digital chameleons, adapting constantly.
Always evolving.
But underneath it all, several core types of scams just keep popping up. Recognizing these patterns, these sort of foundational blueprints of deception, that's the absolutely critical first step. It's like, knowing your opponent's signature moves before a match. If you can anticipate what they might do, you can counter it much more effectively.
That's a really key distinction. Knowing these common patterns isn't just about memorizing facts. It's about developing an intuitive radar almost. It really helps prevent that initial wave of panic. And panic is exactly what scammers rely on, what they try to induce.
Right. They want you reacting, not thinking.
Exactly. So when you can identify, okay, this feels like one of those urgent phone scams, or, this online person is moving awfully fast, you create a vital pause. That pause lets you step back, analyze rationally instead of just reacting out of fear or, maybe misplaced hope. It shifts the power dynamic from the scammer back to you.
Okay, let's start with a really common and honestly quite terrifying one. Agent phone scams. The setup is usually an unexpected call, often from a number you don't recognize. Maybe it even says private number. The person on the line claims to be from somewhere official, somewhere with authority, like the Canada Revenue Agency, maybe your bank, or even a big tech company like Microsoft or Apple.
Names you trust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And their script. It's designed to be intimidating, authoritative, laced with these really dire threats. They might say you owe a huge amount in back taxes, and if you don't pay immediately, using specific untraceable methods we'll talk about, you'll be arrested within hours.
The pressure is immense.
Or they might claim your bank account's been hacked, compromised. You need to transfer all your money right now to a safe account they provide before it's all gone. Another common one is the tech support scam. You know, your computer has a terrible virus, we detected it, only we can fix it, but you need to give us remote access and pay us immediately.
Access and money.
The common thread. Always that demand for immediate action, always coupled with a huge, terrifying threat. They want you feeling trapped, no time to think, no time to verify.
And what's really fascinating from a psychological perspective is the core tactic here. It's cognitive overload. They deliberately overwhelm you. They throw complex threats at you, maybe lots of legal-sounding jargon, rapid-fire instructions. It's all designed to bypass your logical brain.
Your rational thinking just shuts down.
Precisely. It triggers your limbic system, that ancient fight-or-flight response. They want to short-circuit your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for critical analysis, planning, rational thought. That's why they demand immediate payment, immediate access. Why they threaten terrible consequences if you hesitate. They're exploiting that natural human tendency to react fast under pressure, especially when facing perceived authority. But here's the absolute truth you need to internalize. Legitimate government agencies, your actual bank, real tech support companies, they never operate like this. They never demand personal info or immediate payment over the phone in such a threatening, urgent, chaotic way. Their processes are structured, secure. They always allow for verification.
Right. So when you get one of these calls, what's the immediate, crucial step? It's simple, but so effective. Do not fall for the urgency. Do not give in to that pressure. That immediate demand for money or info, that's the brightest red flag imaginable. So the immediate, actionable advice is this. Hang up. Just end the call. Don't argue. Don't engage. Hang up. Then, and this is absolutely vital, you need to independently verify. Find the official number for that organization yourself.
Not the number they gave you.
Absolutely not. Go to their real website, double-check the URL, look it up in a trusted public directory, call that number yourself. Ask them if the call you received was legitimate. That deliberate pause, that independent check, that's your most powerful first line of defense.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit, move online. We encounter things like online phishing and romance scams. These are just as insidious, but often, well, a bit more subtle at first. Phishing, for instance. It usually starts with an email or maybe a text message. It might look incredibly real, like it's from your bank or Amazon or maybe even Netflix.
They mimic the branding perfectly sometimes. They do. But buried in that message is a fake link. It looks legit, but it's designed to steal your information the second you click and enter details. They might prompt you to, verify your account or update your password because of some fake security issue. You click, you type, and boom, your data's gone. Then you have romance scams. These operate on a much deeper, more personal level, and honestly, they can be devastating.
Emotionally devastating.
Absolutely. It starts with an online relationship, maybe on a dating site, maybe social media, and it seems to develop incredibly quickly. The scammer creates this believable, often charming persona, builds intense emotional connection, sometimes over weeks, sometimes months.
They invest time in building that trust.
They do, and then inevitably, once that bond feels solid, comes the request for money. Usually urgent, often heart-wrenching.
And if we connect this back to psychology, these scams expertly leverage our deepest emotional needs and vulnerabilities. They're not just after your bank balance. They're targeting your trust, your loneliness perhaps, your desire for connection, for companionship. The scammer will invent these incredibly dramatic, elaborate emergencies. I'm stuck overseas. I need money for emergency surgery. Or I've been wrongly arrested in another country. I need bail. Or maybe my business just collapsed. I can't feed my kids. Please help me. The stories are crafted perfectly to pull at your heartstrings, tap into your compassion.
They sound so real.
They do. They exploit your empathy, especially if you feel you've found a genuine connection. That combination, the desire for love, the manufactured crisis, makes these scams incredibly effective and just tragic for the victims.
Okay, so this brings us to a really crucial piece of advice here. A pro tip, if you will. If someone you meet online, someone you've never actually met in person, asks you for money, for any reason, it is almost certainly a scam.
Almost certainly. The odds are overwhelming.
Right. Just internalize that immediately. Real love, genuine connection, it doesn't come with financial demands, especially not for these sudden, unverifiable emergencies requiring wire transfers or gift cards. Be incredibly wary of anyone online who professes depth love really fast and then suddenly needs cash, no matter how sad or compelling the story is. Your guard needs to go straight up. Now let's talk about one that's truly heartbreaking. Grandparent scams. This one is just awful because it preys directly on that deep love grandparents have for their grandkids, those fierce protective instincts.
It's pure emotional manipulation.
It is. The scenario usually goes like this. You get a phone call. It sounds frantic, maybe muffled. The person claims to be your grandchild. Their voice might sound a bit off, maybe distressed, tearful, and they'll quickly explain why. Grandma, Grandpa, it's me. I'm in trouble. And they'll add, I can't talk long. My phone's broken, or I dropped my phone, or I'm calling from a friend's phone, just enough to explain why they sound different.
Covering their bases.
Exactly. Then comes the fake urgent crisis. I was in a car accident, I need bail money. Or I got arrested, I need money for a lawyer right away. Or even, I have a medical emergency, I need money now, and please, please don't tell mom or dad. And that last part is key. Almost always, they plead with the grandparent to keep it a secret. Don't tell anyone, I'm so embarrassed, I'm scared.
And this really raises that critical point about the power of emotional leverage. Grandparents, in that moment of sheer panic, that overwhelming worry for their grandchild, they can easily rush to send money without even thinking to verify the story. And that demand for secrecy, that is the absolute flashing neon red flag.
It isolates them.
Precisely. It's designed to stop the grandparent from making one simple call to the grandchild's parents, maybe another family member who would immediately know it's fake. Scammers know that this combination, the emotional connection, the fake urgency, the plea for secrecy, can completely short-circuit rational thought. It overrides the instinct to check. They exploit that urge to act first, ask questions later, especially when a loved one seems to be in danger.
Which leads us to some clear, simple wisdom here. For grandparent scams, no matter how urgent it sounds, how desperate the plea, always verify the story directly. Your first move. Hang up and call your grandchild on their regular known phone number, the one you always use. If you can't reach them, call their parents. Call another trusted family member. Confirm the story.
Don't rely on the incoming call information.
Absolutely not. And do not be swayed by that plea for secrecy. That demand to keep quiet is a classic, undeniable scammer trick. It's their way of making sure you don't talk to someone who can expose the lie. One quick verification call can save so much heartache, so much money. Okay, finally in this section, let's cover scams that show up right at your front door. Literally. Door-to-door scams and overpriced services. You know the scene? Someone just appears on your doorstep, uninvited. They might say they were just passing by and noticed a problem.
Like a loose shingle or a dripping tap they somehow heard from the street.
Right. Saw a loose shingle on your roof. That needs fixing right away. Or sounds like you might have a plumbing leak. They create a sense of urgency about your own home. Then they push hard for services you probably don't need, or they charge absolutely exorbitant prices for really shoddy work, or sometimes no work at all.
And they almost always want cash.
Exactly. Cash right now. They'll try hard to avoid giving you a proper written contract. If they do give you something, it's often vague, offering you zero real protection.
This type of scam plays on a very specific vulnerability. That feeling of pressure when someone is physically right there on your property. It's different from a phone call or email.
It feels more immediate, more intimidating.
It does. It creates a false sense of urgency about a problem that might not even exist. And that demand for cash, with no clear contract, no proper invoice, that means zero transparency. There's no legal protection for you as the consumer. If the work is bad or they just take the money and run, you have almost no recourse. You're left completely exposed.
So the caution here is very clear regarding these door-to-door approaches. Never, ever agree to services from someone who just shows up unexpectedly at your home. If someone points out a supposed problem, thank them politely, say you'll look into it yourself, then close the door. And always, if you think there might be an issue, get multiple quotes from reputable, established local businesses.
Is their homework?
Absolutely. Check their credentials. Look for online reviews. Maybe check with the Better Business Bureau. Ask for local references. Do not let someone's physical presence rush you into a bad decision that could cost you a lot. Take control. Take your time. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, and honestly, quite empowering. We've dissected some common scam types. Now let's talk about the universal red flags. These are like consistent signals, warning lights that tell you a scam might be happening no matter the specific story or tactic.
They cut across different types of scams.
Exactly. Recognizing these fundamental signals. That means you're already halfway to winning. They're powerful indicators because they show up again and again.
That's a really vital point. These red flags are so consistent because they target fundamental human psychology, not just, the specifics of a CRA scam versus a romance scam. Once you train yourself to spot these core indicators, you're not just identifying one scam, you're recognizing the underlying pattern of manipulation that defines almost all fraud. It's a foundational skill for financial self-defense.
All right, let's start with red flag 1, imposing urgency and secrecy. We've touched on this, but it's so critical. It's probably the most classic tactic. Scammers use intense pressure. They demand you decide right now, this offer expires in 10 minutes. Or you have to act immediately or face the consequences.
Creating that sense of panic, no time to breathe.
Exactly. And then they often pair it with secrecy. Don't tell anyone about this amazing investment, or you can't let your kids know about this problem. It's confidential. It's a potent mix. It isolates you, makes you feel trapped, like you have no time and no one to turn to.
And the psychological impact is huge. If you ever feel intensely rushed, pressured to make a big decision, financial or personal, without time to think it through, to verify, it is, and I'm not exaggerating, almost certainly a scam, 99% of the time. Legitimate dealings, they always allow time. Time to think, read the fine print, talk to advisors, discuss with family.
Right. No legitimate business operates on panic.
No. What's fascinating here is the scammer's goal is precisely to prevent rational thought, to stop you from consulting anyone else. They want you cornered, intellectually and emotionally, making an impulsive decision that only benefits them. A moment of calm reflection can completely derail their plan.
So your shield against this. It's simple but powerful. No time to think is their weapon. Your counter. Pause. Just pause. Take a deep breath. Even if it feels awkward, just say firmly, I need time to think about this, or I need to talk this over with someone. Then, hang up, close the email, end the conversation, and always talk to someone you trust before acting under pressure. A family member, friend, financial advisor. That pause, that consultation, it's your superpower. Okay, next up, a massive warning sign. Red flag 2, unusual payment methods. This one screams scam. If anyone claiming to be CRA, the bank, a tech company, even that new online friend demands payment using gift cards.
Like iTunes cards, Google Play cards, Steam cards.
Exactly. Or cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, or wire transfers through services like Western Union or MoneyGram. Your internal alarm bells should be deafening. We hear stories constantly of scammers walking people through buying hundreds, even thousands of dollars in gift cards, then demanding the numbers off the back, or guiding them to crypto exchanges.
And it's vital to understand why these methods are red flags. It's simple. They are incredibly hard, often impossible, to trace or reverse.
Once the money's gone, it's gone.
Pretty much. Gift card codes get used instantly. Wire transfers are picked up in cash, often overseas. Many cryptocurrencies offer anonymity. There are no chargebacks, no fraud protections like you have with credit cards or regular bank transfers. That untraceability, that irreversibility, that's precisely why scammers love these methods. Let me repeat. Legitimate government agencies, banks, reputable companies, they will never demand payment for taxes, fees, or services via gift cards, crypto, or wire transfers. Never. Their payment methods are always clear, secure, traceable.
So the warning here is stark. Never, ever send money using cash, gift cards, cryptocurrency, or untraceable wire transfers when someone pressures you, or if it's someone you don't know extremely well in person. If you're asked for these payment methods, consider it an undeniable sign of a scam. Just walk away. Don't do it. Moving on to red flag 3, unexpected contact and excessive friendliness. This one is really about trusting your gut. Be automatically suspicious of calls, texts, emails out of the blue from strangers, especially if they're offering something amazing, a huge inheritance you didn't know about, lottery winnings for a contest you never entered.
It sounds too good to be true.
It probably is. Also, be really wary of online acquaintances who get super friendly, super fast, professing deep love or intense friendship almost immediately. Sometimes they call this love bombing. Someone you just met online is suddenly calling you their soulmate, talking about a future together, getting deeply involved in your life within days or weeks.
Analyzing the manipulation there. They're trying to fast-track intimacy to bypass your natural caution. Build a false sense of connection incredibly quickly. Connecting this to psychology, it exploits basic human needs for connection, love, companionship, maybe even financial security. They create this illusion of intimacy or a golden opportunity, so you lower your guard.
Let your skepticism slide.
Exactly. And then they manipulate those emotions for financial gain. If someone online is using pet names, talking marriage, planning your future lives together after only knowing you a short time, that is a massive blaring red flag. Real relationships take time.
So the advice here is simple. Listen to your intuition, that gut feeling. If something feels off, if it sounds too good to be true, whether it's an investment, a new relationship, a sudden windfall, it probably is. That little voice inside, that nagging doubt, it's like a built-in scam detector. Your brain picks up on subtle inconsistencies often before you consciously realize it. Trust that feeling. Don't dismiss it. And finally, a critical red flag that demands your highest alert. Red flag 4, demands for personal information. This is non-negotiable. You should never, ever provide sensitive personal info, bank passwords, online banking logins, your social insurance number, SIN, full credit card numbers with the CVC code, PINs over the phone, via email or text, especially if you didn't initiate the contact.
And it's non-negotiable for a simple reason. Legitimate institutions, your bank, the government, credit card companies either already have this information or they use secure, established methods to verify you that don't involve asking for these critical details in an insecure way.
Right. They won't cold call you for your password.
Never. They know the risks. When a scammer asks for this info, they are stealing your identity, not verifying it. This is the key to identity theft, which can cause devastating, long-lasting problems way beyond just losing some money right now.
So here's the ironclad rule. Your personal information. It's the master key to your entire financial life. Guard it fiercely, like treasure in a vault. Never hand that key over carelessly. Be suspicious. Be vigilant. Keep that vault locked tight. Okay, so what does this all mean for you in practice? We've looked at the threats, learned to spot the red flags. Now, let's shift from understanding the enemy to building our defenses. Proactive, powerful strategies. This part is about becoming a true financial guardian, actively protecting your money, your identity, and yeah, your peace of mind.
And these strategies are so important because they're not just about dodging today's scam. They're about building lasting financial confidence. They establish habits that reinforce your security long term. It's shifting from being reactive to being proactive, building a vigilance that becomes second nature.
Let's start with strategy 1, the power of pause. Don't rush. This might be the simplest, but honestly the most impactful step. For any contact, unexpected call, startling email, even that pushy salesperson at the door, especially if they demand money, info, or quick decision, never let them rush you. The second you feel that pressure, that urgency, your conscious reaction needs to be, hit the pause button, practice saying it. I need time to think about this. Or, I need to discuss this with someone. Firmly, politely.
It's not rude, it's smart.
Exactly. Then hang up, close the email, don't feel obligated to continue the conversation. This is pure self-preservation.
And the impact of that simple pause is huge. Scammers hate it. It completely dismantles their main tactic, urgency. Their whole game depends on triggering an immediate, emotional, usually fear-based reaction. When you pause, you create mental space, you breathe, you let your rational mind kick back in.
Step back from the emotion.
Precisely. It allows you time to consult others, check facts independently, or just recognize the manipulation. All the things the scammer is desperate to prevent. It basically unravels their whole approach.
So remember this key. Pausing is your strongest weapon, your immediate defense. If you feel even a tiny bit of doubt, that gut feeling, just stop, take a breath. And then, crucially, talk to someone you trust. Family, friend, advisor, your bank. Just saying it out loud often exposes the scam for what it is. It breaks its power. Okay, strategy 2, the official verification habit. Call them directly. This is absolutely fundamental, a cornerstone habit. If someone contacts you claiming to be from your bank, the CRA, the police, any official body, never call back the number they give you. Never trust the caller ID either.
Because caller ID can be faked, like spoofed.
Exactly. Scammers can make it look like the call is coming from a legitimate number, or they'll give you a fake callback number that just goes back to them.
And that risk is significant. People see bank name on their phone and assume it's real. Independent verification is the only way to be sure. You must take the initiative, find the official, publicly listed number for that organization yourself.
From their genuine website, check the URL carefully, or a trusted directory.
Yes. Call that number. You initiate the contact. Explain why you're calling. I received a suspicious call. Let the legitimate representative confirm or deny it. This completely bypasses the scammer's fake numbers and routes.
And that is your essential safety net. Making a habit of verifying through official self-sourced channels, it's the surest way to protect yourself. Yeah, it takes a few extra minutes, but those minutes are absolutely priceless for your financial security and peace of mind. Make it your default reaction. Strategy number 3. Strategy 3, ironclad personal information defense. Never share. This rule is so critical, we have to keep hammering it home. It needs to be automatic. Never, ever share sensitive data bank passwords, online logins, SIN, full credit card numbers, PINs over the phone, email, or text, especially if you didn't start the conversation.
And let's add a layer here. Even with close family, be cautious about sharing highly sensitive financial info, only when absolutely necessary, and through secure means you control. What's fascinating is that many scams don't involve complex hacking. They use social engineering.
Meaning they trick you into giving it up.
Exactly. Psychological manipulation. They convince you to hand over the keys. They build fake rapport, create fake urgency, pose as authority figures, all to make you believe their request for your info is legitimate.
So remember the secret. Your personal info is the key to your financial safety, your identity, your assets. Guard it like gold. Don't hand that key over carelessly. Be suspicious, be vigilant, keep it locked down. Okay, strategy 4, the account monitoring habit. Don't miss small changes. This is about being proactive with your own finances. Get into a regular routine. Check your bank statements, credit card statements, investment accounts. Don't just glance. Scrutinize them. Look carefully for any transaction you don't recognize, no matter how small. Checking online banking frequently is great too. Lets you spot things almost in real time.
And the reason this is so crucial, scammers sometimes test the waters with tiny transactions. $1 here, a few dollars there.
See if it goes through unnoticed.
Exactly. If the small charge isn't flagged, they know the account is active and maybe not closely monitored. Then they might try a much larger hit. Think of your accounts like a fortress. Even a tiny crack, that unfamiliar $2 charge, needs immediate investigation. This vigilance catches problems early before they become disasters.
So be the watchdog for your own finances. See a crack, any weird transaction, act immediately. Don't just assume it's an error. Call your bank, call the credit card company, investigate. Early detection is your best friend here. And finally, strategy 5, stay informed and communicate. Knowledge is power. This is an ongoing thing because scammers never stop evolving. Make it a habit to stay updated on the latest scam tactics. Check reputable sources regularly.
Like the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center, the CAFC.
Exactly. They're a central hub. Also, your local police website often posts alerts about scams hitting your specific area. These organizations see the trends, they get the reports. They're your best source for current intel.
And beyond informing yourself, there's huge power in sharing that knowledge. Talk about it. Discuss suspicious calls or emails with family, friends, neighbors. Share warnings you see. This builds a collective defense.
Like a neighborhood watch for scams.
Precisely. One person's knowledge can protect many others from the same trick. Individual knowledge is strong, but shared wisdom. That creates a much tougher shield for everyone. It builds a network of vigilance.
So embrace that community spirit. Don't keep concerns or new information to yourself. Get a weird call. Hear about a new scam. Tell people. Talk to your loved ones. You're not just protecting yourself. You're helping create a safer environment for everyone.
Okay, now, we need to talk about something sensitive but incredibly important. We need to approach this with a lot of empathy. If you suspect you've been scammed, or worse, you know you have. Let's be absolutely unequivocally clear. Never be ashamed. Never blame yourself. That is so critical for everyone listening to hear and internalize. Scammers are professionals. They are sophisticated, calculating criminals. They pour resources into developing deceptive tactics, refining emotional manipulation. Their methods are designed to fool anyone. Smart, cautious, financially savvy people fall victim every single day. So let me say it again, forcefully. This is never your fault. You're the victim of a crime. The focus shouldn't be shame. It needs to be immediate action and reaching out for help.
Yeah.
Every second counts.
Okay, so what's the first action? Contact the authorities immediately. Time is critical. Swift action can make a difference. If you sent money wire transfer, gift card codes, crypto, whatever, contact your bank or financial institution immediately. Explain exactly what happened. Who, how, the story they used. Ask them point blank. Can you stop the transfer? Can you reverse it? Can you freeze the account?
The sooner you report, the better the chance, even if it's small.
Exactly. Minutes matter. Hours matter. Be persistent. Early intervention is absolutely key.
And if your personal information was compromised, maybe you gave out your SIN, credit card details, bank logins, you need more immediate steps. Contact your credit card companies, all your banks, tell them about the potential fraud, ask for account monitoring, and crucially, contact the credit bureau's Equifax TransUnion. Place a fraud alert on your credit file. This makes it much harder for scammers to open new accounts in your name.
That's vital.
Then, report it to the police, file a detailed report. You'll likely need this for banks, insurance, identity theft recovery, and finally, report the scam to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, CAFC. Your report helps them track scams, warn others, and potentially aids investigations.
And just to underscore why all this reporting is so important, yes, it might increase the slim chance of getting money back, but just as importantly, it's critical for preventing others from becoming victims of the same scam. Your experience, painful as it is, can become a warning, a shield for someone else.
And what's fascinating, perhaps counterintuitive, is that reporting might feel scary or embarrassing when you feel vulnerable. But it's actually an incredibly courageous and powerful act. You're not just helping yourself, you're providing vital intelligence to authorities. Your report helps them understand tactics, issue warnings, and ultimately work towards catching these criminals and disrupting their operations. It turns a personal negative into a public positive.
So let that be the clear message. Reporting isn't frightening. It's a brave act that helps you, helps others, and helps bring justice. Don't hesitate. Beyond the official channels, the second action is to talk to someone you trust. This is so important for your emotional health and practical support. Tell family, close friends, a trusted neighbor what happened. Ask for their help, their support. Don't try to handle this alone.
The emotional burden is immense. Isolation, shame, anxiety. Scammers rely on that silence.
They do. They want you to feel alone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And trying to cope alone just makes it harder. It can lead to prolonged distress, even depression. Just talking about it, sharing with someone who cares. It can bring huge comfort, validation, immense relief. They can offer practical help, emotional support, help you navigate the steps. It breaks that cycle of isolation scammers want. Reaching out is strength.
Remember, please remember, scam victimization can happen to absolutely anyone. It says nothing about your intelligence or carefulness. It only speaks to the scammer's sophistication and ruthlessness. You are truly never alone in this. By seeking help bravely, taking these steps, your life, your lively later life, can absolutely get back to being safe, secure, and peaceful. All right, to everyone who joined us for this deep dive today, thank you. We've navigated the really critical landscape of protecting your hard-earned money from these constantly shifting scams. We've aimed to equip you, help you identify the tactics, master those defensive strategies, and feel more confident about how to react if the worst happens. You're now armed with vital knowledge.
And it really is our sincere hope that everything we've shared today acts as a strong shield for your financial life. Our deepest wish is to help you build a safer, more secure, more peaceful life without that constant background worry about scams. Your financial security is just paramount for overall well-being.
And remember, it goes beyond just you. Your smart spending, your vigilance, your financial security, it creates ripples. It positively impacts not just you, but your family, your friends, your whole community. When you're secure and vigilant, you're stronger, more resilient, and that benefits everyone. So until our next deep dive, please always stay vigilant. Keep those valuable assets safe, and truly embrace each day to the fullest. Find that happiness, that prosperity. Think of vigilance not as a burden, but as just one part of living a joyful, flourishing life. Thanks so much for tuning in.